Oh yeah!
And let's have a party, celebrate, and let's have a good time, you and me, 'cause everything is alright. Just believe you'll see that we gon' make this thing explode.
Welcome back, guys. This is Tauntaun777, and we are here with a Photoshop tutorial. This is I don't know exactly how to call this. I may call it like the basics of Photoshop, doing some basic things with it and whatnot, because really that's all it is. It's similar to the thumbnail one, but I'm gonna go through some more. I'm gonna go through some more of the basic things in more detail, like layers and effects and things like that, because I think I flew through that a bit too fast on the thumbnail. So here we go. This is a project I'm working on in one of my classes. It's a banner project that'll go up, or hopefully it would go up on our university website. Let's see here if I can open it up real quick. The thing that's not working. Okay, that's cool. Up there. See, something like that. But the text is a lot better. I don't know if that's just because it's Safari or what. So, well, that just went full screen. Well, that's not what I wanted. That's the athletics page. Trying to show you guys freaking crap, and it just still the text is off. Anyways, something like this that goes up on a website. That's what this is for. So I talked to the professor I'm doing this for, and we decided that this image over here needs to really, be moved and put over there. You'll see why in a minute. And then the stroke around this and the drop shadows and the embezzlement on all the text needs to be dropped. And then just got to see how that all is going to look. So what we're going to do in order for that to work out is essentially we're going to come in here. We're going to get rid of layer 3 because since I have to redo the whole edit thing, it's going to be just hectically fun. I'm trying to remember how he did this. There's one way I want to flip this around. So one way to do this is either A, you come up here to image. You can go to image rotation and flip canvas horizontally, but that flips everything. So now my text is backwards. And I think even when you come in here and start typing, it's all backwards. So that's not at all what we're wanting. So we'll go back to, let's see here. We'll go back to open, or actually delete layer. Another way to do it is you come down here to the layers. You would select the object. You see how they're both there, and all I did was press and hold shift as I selected all those. I would come up here to file. Is it file or is it edit? I can never remember, because I use shortcut keys. That's my life. My life is shortcut keys. Where'd it go? It was there. This is making me look real smart, guys. I know. There it is. There it is. So we're gonna come over here and press free transform. So it's under edit, and down here at free transform. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drag this all the way down here, place it there, and then take this end and drag it all the way down to about, I think right there. I believe that's correct. Because if we go back to delete layer, free transform, it's about right. It's about right. We may stretch it out a little bit here in a minute, but that's one way to do it. And then we'll select all the text. Also, again, that's just clicking at the very top and coming all the way down to the bottom where the text is, and selecting it, and then we just click and hold and drag it over. And now it's over there. Make sure you have this tool selected, which is your all selection tool or move tool or whatever you want to call that. I call it my selection tool because that's usually the universal that you use for all that. I have the other image pulled up here. I need to bring it over to the banner. So what I'm going to do is I unlocked it. So I clicked and dragged on the lock that was there and put it in the trash can. Now I'm going to come over here to this image. I'm going to click and hold on it. I'm going to drag it up here to the tab that says the banner that I'm using. Then I'm just going to drop it like it's hot. And yeah, we're just going to bring that back down to where it's like right about here. Yeah, I think that's right. And then we're gonna zoom out a little bit. I'm doing the scroll. You could press Z or come over here to magnification tool. Press Alt and zoom out. There. And then I'm gonna press Command T, or you go up to Edit Free Transform. But I prefer doing Command T because shortcut keys save lives. They really do. Many a person has been saved thanks to Command T or Command shortcut keys. So what the goal is to try and get this a bit over there. So we're gonna probably expand this out to where his head is just about to touch the top of the frame, but not too much. We can actually extend it out a little bit more than that, and then we're gonna press Enter to conform that transform, and then we're gonna drag him down here a little bit, just like that. And then, I mean, that's as far as I can go before we start seeing the other stuff. I think that'll work for what we're wanting. Yeah, that will. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer mask on top of this. And the way to do that is to make sure you have this selected down here, the layer that you're editing. Come down here to what looks like a little Japanese flag thing. I'll stop that. And then you press on it, and it'll add a layer mask. Now, let's see if this works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's just a crapshoot some days. You make sure it has the mask part, which is the white square next to the image. Press B or come over here and select the brush tool. And you just come over here and you just start going over the layer. And it starts to disappear. I don't know if you guys can see it, but as you can see now, you don't see this big blockiness on the background texture. And I know you're thinking, how the heck did you make all that? That can be in detail later. I'm just doing this to show you guys some Photoshop stuff, and also to work on my homework. I know, lazy as heck, but hey, when you guys watch this, I'll either be presenting it or I will be, in class or whatnot. So, anyways, we're gonna take off the effects on it all, because in all honesty, it's not needed. So we'll do that, and we'll come over here to the software there and take that off. And honestly, we don't even need the clipping mask that I put on there, because that just doesn't look right. So we'll keep the student access up here the same, because that looks okay. What we're going to do instead with this other text is we're probably going to change it to a different text style, and we want to change it to something a little bit different than what's up above, but not something too crazy. I like something futuristic possibly. But it's hard to find like futuristic fonts sometimes, and this one doesn't look too bad. How does that look? And then you got it when the text box does not want to work with you. Okay, and then we come over here. Oh, dang it. I didn't want that. Dang it. There. Okay, will you do what I want you to? And then this is just a struggle you gotta deal with on some days, of it not wanting to change the size of crap. Ah, come on. Come on. There we go. See? Now it'll show up. And I'm gonna stretch this out so we got enough room to play with it and whatnot. We're gonna do the same thing to software. Let's see, Monaco. Let's go over here to software. We'll change that to Monaco, so that they're both the same font. And then maybe possibly change the size of it. Oh, there it was. Okay. Do something like that. I like it all bold, but I don't know if that's an option with this font. I mean, that's decently okay. All caps. No. Nah, that doesn't look terribly bad. We may try and do some kerning there, but I don't I'm liking that. I am liking that. So that's what, 380? Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing to advanced. We're going to make it bold. We're going to make it that tall text there. And then we're going to come over here, click and hold, 380. And that's affecting the kerning. And the kerning is the space in between letters, is what that is. So you can stretch it out and make it look different. Sass. Ha! That's kind of cool. I actually like that. I actually like that. Still not that thick though, and I'm not liking that because, I mean, at 100%-ish, right about there, I mean, I can see student access to, and then so I don't really like that aspect right now. Advanced software. SAS as. I really want to make that, like, all that other stuff thicker, but I just don't know if I can with certain stuff. I may just have to find a thicker text is what the dealio is. And that's always just, one of the things to do when you try and find a good text for stuff like that. And you can always go back to the default of like Arial, the Arial font or something like that. What about this one? Is that any better? I don't know. I'm honestly not liking the text now that I'm looking at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back up here to delete layer. Where'd it go? And we're just going to... I'll deal with that later. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that. I always hate doing the text. It drives me postal. Drives me postal. But I do know what I'm going to do with text on one of these other banners. We're going to do that real quick. This one here. It's decently okay. But what we're going to do instead is get rid of professional here. I wanted to get rid of the layer. And equipment. We'll go ahead and get rid of this group. This greater than symbol and that. I'm gonna bring this down over here just so we have that. I'm gonna get rid of the effects on the letters, and then width can go away. So what we're gonna do now is take the hands-on. I'm gonna bring it over here. Bring the learning. We're gonna bring that down over here. Kind of line it up with the H in a sense, a little bit offset though. So it's kind of different. And then we're going to select the learning part. We're going to definitely make this just a wee bit bigger. And then we're going to find a different font. There was one that we found. I can't remember what he put on there. And I think that was his whole goal when he was helping me with this. So I would not know what he was doing. So I would figure it out myself. Dag nabbit, learn that higher education dough. So I don't like that because that looks just weird. That's just too British or something. I don't know. That's not too bad. I'm liking that. We're going to change the color of it to what this is. Yeah, that looks good. We're going to make it, can we make it bold? Yes, we're going to make it bold. And then we're going to, increase the size. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Just do that. Live with it like that. That's not too bad. We're going to bring it down a bit, though. Do something like that. And then we're going to select both layers. And then Command T or Edit Free Transform. And then we're going to just, do it like this. And then that gives us that kind of dealio. We're probably going to separate the hands-on and the learning just a little bit more. And then bring this over just a little bit. Something like that. And that looks pretty good. I may do something with that over on the whole other banner. But that's about all I need to do to this one to make it look decently okay. And then over here, this one, what we discussed was just lining up the text better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out the old nifty line tool. I think that's what. Yep. So, oh my lord, that's not what I wanted. Command Z. And it'd be nice if we made this like, I don't know, not red, the same color as what we're trying to deal with. We're gonna make this roughly about 5, 6. We'll make it 6. Okay, that's still too big. We don't need no stroke. What you doing? So we're gonna make this back to about that. Will that work? Good lord. Okay, let me try this and move this over. We're trying to line it up so when we do the whole angle thing, we have the W and the T right about there. And then we're gonna move the progress and the meets. Dang it. When you press command and you click on the text part of a layer, it'll do this quick select, whatnot. So you gotta click on the name of it and then press holding command and press on the name of the other thing. And we're gonna drag this over till it meets right about there. We're also gonna bring progress over just a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, I don't know what happened there. That was a bit too crazy. Dagnabbit, I just want to move the darn thing over. We'll just nudge it. And I'm just pressing the left arrow key right now. That's all I'm doing. Okay, right about there-ish. Looks good to me. And then we're going to get rid of this line. And that just makes you follow it better with the eye and whatnot. So I like that. That's a little bit better. Now over here on this one, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think I'll just change the text type on the lettering. I can see if I can fade out this vector smart object just a little bit more. So that starting to just show the white and the gray, but I don't want that. I want it like a faded, kind of like a faded red. And this is me selecting the layer and then coming up here to the opacity and just changing it as best as I can. So I don't want it too faint and I don't want it too strong. I guess I need it a bit strong so we can actually see it. Because we want to be able to see the black text. Everything. I'm pretty much almost back to where I began. It's a little bit fainter than before, but enough. Not enough so that we lose reading this. So what we're going to do now is I'm probably going to pick... Okay, so we still have that as the option here. So student, software, and advanced. So we're going to select that, click that. And we're just going to come over and make it a bit more of a brighter red. No, that's not going to work. Make it a bit of a darker red. Yeah, still not working. Not working, not working. It's hard to do red on red, so what we might do... it has to be black, though. Because the university colors are red and black. Can we make it orangish, maybe? With an orange tinge? I don't think so. You know what we might do? So we'll switch this around. We're going to make this as black. And do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select that and we're going to do a effect here. I know I said no effects, but this one will work better. We'll do a garnet overlay. And we'll select this red and black. Hit O. And we're going to decheck that and decheck that and press OK. And then press look at the effects. That's decently okay, but instead of the red being at the top, I would like to have, I don't know if I can, change the angle. Let's see if we do that. I'm a bit okay with that. I just feel like that's too much red at the bottom because I don't want it so strong, that it does that. So maybe instead of it being that bright of a red, maybe if we bring it down to a bit of a darker red and do it that way, maybe then it'll look better. Stop it. Okay, now I know how to, do stuff like that. See, that's not too bad. Again, it's a bit dark. So what we might try and do is take this back to that bit of a brighter red. And this is just going to have to be playing around with it and whatnot. And we're going to try and do some encroachment advancements or something. Maybe just have that as like a red, kind of like a red fade at the bottom of the words. Something like that. That may work. So we'll press OK there. This thing we're going to want at like, what, -90. So we have more of a dealio there. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. I don't know how much of a fan I am of it, though. Okay. What? What did you do? Stop that. -90. That's a thing. My goodness. I wasn't done. I was not done, people. Expand this up a bit. What the frick? Okay, this just got real weird. I somehow made like multiple copies of this whole red thing. I don't know. I'm going to do something with it. I'll figure it out at some point. But that's some of the basics of doing some things. Layering. This is your layer panel over here, as you can see. We have the text up front because that's what we want to see initially. And then everything at the bottom of it's behind. So like if I were to take this layer 2 and bring it up to the top, it would do nothing but cover up everything else, as you can see. And now there's nothing there. So you want to make sure you bring this down to about right about here. So it's the background and whatnot. That's layering for you. Just so we got that straightened away. You saw some of the effects you can do. I can go through more of that in detail when I'm not rushed to finish homework. Yeah, I know. Sad, guys. So sad. But that's how that will happen. And yeah. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of this tutorial. Let me know below in the comments section if I didn't go over something you wanted to know, or if there's other things you'd like to learn from Photoshop or whatnot. Just let me know, okay? Hopefully I will read your all's comments, and I will see you all next time. This is Tauntaun777, and I am out.